good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're watching us from. I am Comfort Eyitayo, your regular host for Connect with Comfort show. On this program, we aim to add value to people on business, enterprise, and personal growth. Each show is organized to feature guests who are subject matter experts that would throw more insight on the topic of the day. I'm glad you are able to join us today. You are most welcome. With great pleasure, I welcome you to this insightful session on building resilience and mental toughness in business. In today's fast-paced and ever-evolving business landscape, the ability to adapt, recover, and thrive amidst challenges is not just an advantage, it is essential for survival and success. We live in an era marked by constant change and uncertainty. Economic shifts, technological advancements, and unforeseen global events continuously reshape our business environment. In such a dynamic context, resilience and mental toughness become the cornerstones of sustainable success. These qualities empower us to navigate adversity, bounce back from setbacks, and maintain a forward-thinking mindset even in the face of difficulties. Resilience is more than just the capacity to endure hardship. It is about harnessing challenges as opportunities for growth, innovation, and development. Mental toughness, on the other hand, equips us with the mental and emotional fortitude to stay focused, manage stress effectively, and persist in the pursuit of our goals, regardless of the obstacles we encounter. Therefore, let us dig deep this afternoon into the heart of resilience and mental toughness in business after this time out. Please remain connected. We'll be right back. Thank you. You're welcome back. Our special guest is already in the house with us. And our special guest for today is no other than Emem Opashi. Emem is an avid ambivert. And for those of you who may not know the meaning, like I just learned, is the in between the extrovert and the introvert. So, an avid ambivert, she is an educator, creative problem solver, learning development consultant, and advocate for education as a lifestyle for all. She believes everybody should be in the education space because we need to continue to learn. Our core passion is helping people and organizations to become knowledge entrepreneurs so they can stand out in the top 5% of their industry. Enjoys connecting with people by creating unique global platforms for networking where growth, collaboration, and learning experiences thrive to become tangible assets. She brings together her expertise as a certified project management professional, instructional designer, creative breakthrough coach, trainer, and event leader to improve individual and organizational performance. I'm sure with that brief profile of our guest today, you will agree with me that we are in the best hands for this very interesting topic. Please join me in making welcome Emem Opashi. Thank you very much, Opashi rather. Thank you very much, Emem, for agreeing to spare your morning. She's actually in New York, so you know what that means with the different time zone. For agreeing to share your morning, Sunday morning with us in order to impact knowledge and share experiences with our online audience. We appreciate you highly. You
Thank
are
you so
most
much, Ma.
welcome to connect with Comfort Show.
Thank you, Ma. Thank you for having me. It's a great honor.
Thank you.
Yes,
So,
Ma.
without much ado, we will go straight to our interview segment by asking for our audience to be able to understand what resilience and mental toughness means. What are the key components of resilience in a business context?
All right. Thank you. Thank you once again. It's really great to be here. It's an honor and really interesting topic. So I think resilience in a business context, there's so many aspects to it, especially for us running businesses in Nigeria, in environments like Nigeria or any part of the world. We're in a very volatile, uncertain times. And so resilience is the key components. It's when it comes to an organization is being able to understand how to recover or withstand disruptions, adapt to changes, and then continue to grow and thrive. So like these are some very important aspects to it. And other components would also, for example, would be establishing a strong, resilient culture in your organization. So that means that the whole mindset of your whole team, and when it comes to business, starts with the leadership, being able to establish a resilient culture, even having leaders who are committed, committed to ensuring that resilience is the watchword of every single person. And then I think one thing that comes up when it comes to resilience is also being able to handle risks. So managing risks and being prepared. There's quite a number of them, but I can talk more about them maybe later. But I think those two are they're quite important. Because it really starts with the leadership, being able to establish that culture and ensuring that they're committed to continuing that. So when it comes to resilience in a business environment, it starts with the leadership, and then you're passing on this culture to your full team. You're making sure it's the watchword, and then you are ensuring that you are continuously putting strategies and tactics in place to be prepared for any risks that may arise. And of course, there's always those words of adaptability, flexibility, also that come into it. So yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. We've been made to understand that leaders have a lot to do when we talk of resilience in building the culture and making sure the culture of adaptability, flexibility, and determination, shared determination in the face of tough time, not to give up, to continue to weather the storm until you have a breakthrough. So I think that is very, very clear to all of us. So how does mental toughness differ from resilience? Because we have talked about determination, so you can call that part of the toughness. So how does it differ from resilience, and how are they also related?
This is good. This is like jam questions. Yes, ma, well done. So I think mental resilience for me, I see it as the same term word as grit. It also means grit. That's a word that we use more often. Mental toughness is more of a personality trait. It's something that is um, I don't want to say it's I think it's developed. Mental toughness is developed. So most people probably don't are not they don't start off that way, but it's something you have to grow and develop. And it's a personality trait that enables people to function consistently under pressure and stress. Now, when it comes to resilience, another word that I use for resilience, I call it bounce back ability. So being able to bounce back from setbacks when there's a disruption, um, COVID happens, or disappointments or failures, you have plans, you lose a whole bunch of money, so all those kind of things, life happens, the volatile nature of what it is that we go through. So resilience is being able to bounce back and use that mental toughness that you have developed and that you are developing to create, coping mechanisms and strategies and use them. So they're very related. I'm sure people will probably use them interchangeably.
Interchangeably, yeah.
Yes, yes,
They are actually related, because without the toughness,
yes,
it's difficult to portray that resilience. Is the toughness that does not make you to give up in the
exactly.
face of adversity. Yeah, thank you very
Mm-hmm.
much.
Yes.
Now, we let's situate all this in terms of business, the importance in business.
Okay, ma.
Why is building resilience and mental toughness critical for business leaders and employees?
Okay. Okay. Like something similar to what I said earlier. The business environment, no matter where you're starting this, and no matter what stage you're at, we are always going to be hit with something. There are always going to be uncertainties. There's always going to be um, innovations or disruptions that would shake up your whole industry. There is always going to be someone doing something differently. There may be government regulations that may come up. So, as much as we have plans, you invest, you've done your research. Resilience is vital. You have to have resilience as again. I'll use that word again as your watchword.
Gotcha.
Yes, as your culture. It has to be your culture because really anything can happen. And you know how it is, we pray and we do all the trainings. Many of us we have plenty masters and certifications. But when push comes to shove, this culture of what's the first thing that comes out of your mouth when something happens, the world, here there was an earthquake here last month. Never been in an earthquake in anywhere in the world in where I have been. I mean, it was just sudden. I'm just imagining if something more, So the world is just, there's so much uncertainty. So that resilience must be in your culture, and you have to be able to virtually practice this, whether it is repeating the same thing every day to get it ingrained in your mindset. So it is vital to help you cope with the uncertainties and volatile nature of and risks that may arise, as I said, disruptions, things that you may need to change, and anything that may be thrown your way. It's very vital for us to build that up. Yes.
Very true. Like situations that hit you like a hard rock, instead of saying, "Oh my God," it's better to say life must continue. Life must go on. I think
Yes.
that kind of mindset, because
Yes.
oh my God could make you to surrender and throw in the towel, but life must continue.
Life
It's a
must
thing.
continue.
Yeah. So I guess what that is referring to. Now,
Yes.
how does resilience and mental toughness contribute to long-term business success?
I think what it does is that these two traits or characteristics or competencies are where we can link them to the term sustainability and having like a business continuity plan. And so when you have a business continuity plan, for example, you're looking at contingencies, possible risks, you're looking at how to mitigate any possible risk that may come, um, or what strategy you would use, to handle these risks. So I think they form a very, very vital part of this mental toughness and resilience. They form a very vital part. And now you're even saying this thing, I'm just thinking in my head, really, now we're talking about this, I'm thinking of my own organization and wondering how much how much support or how much do I put this in to my team to keep, because we just sometimes things just happen and we're like, oh, this just happened, and you're running up and down, so now you're actually asking this question. I'm thinking about it in my own way. So I think it contributes to long-term business success because it helps you have a bit more of a functional kind of way of thinking. You're ready when things hit you, as you said, you're thinking in your head, okay, life happens, these things happen, what are the next steps to do? You're thinking in an action kind of minded way. You're looking at what strategies you can use. You're doing a reality check. You're thinking in that way, and that's the way you have to be. Otherwise, honestly, that's why they keep saying most businesses after 5 years, all over the world, not only in Nigeria, but that there's that research that's been done globally. Most businesses after the first 3 to 5 years, they just
The
they just
mortality rate is high.
yes, they they just they
Yeah.
just close shop, and like, no, maybe I wasn't meant to be doing this. There's a word I'm trying. Yes, that's the word I'm trying to remember. Reframing. Being able to reframe what's really going on. So sometimes you can look at something and go, "Hey, I'm finished," or as we say, I mean, in Yoruba, Mugbe, I'm keeping it. Yes, but or you can come up
So
with
I think we can liken it akin to what we say that tough time does not last
last,
forever,
but
but
tough
tough
people do.
people do.
Yes,
Because when we talk of uh, how does it contribute to long-term business success,
yes,
you just have to be tough. Just like you said, the statistics are there that
yes.
for most small businesses have a lifespan of between 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years. Yes, ma'am.
It's only those that we weather the storm and stick it out that exceed that year, because most of them get overwhelmed and then they close shop. But
Yes.
when you have that toughness in your mind that I'm just going to succeed,
Hmm.
come rain, come shine, then it will contribute to your long-term business. Because we need to drill this down so that our audience will know the linkage of
Between
this to
them.
their businesses, and
Mm-hmm.
to
Mm-hmm.
understand that they just don't give up easily. Tough time definitely is part of life, it will
Yes,
come,
ma'am.
but you have to be a tougher person above the tough time for you to outlast tough time.
Very
I
true.
think that's the
That's very true.
lesson. That
Yes,
one
ma'am.
is important.
I agree.
So we've looked at the we've been made to understand it, and then we've looked at the importance in relation to our business. What strategies and techniques do we need to apply, like the effective one, that can make us to develop resilience in our businesses? Effective strategies that can help us to develop resilience. If we don't have it in us,
If we
how
don't
do
have,
we develop it? Mm.
I think one of the most important ones I'll start with, which I think for me, I would be belonging to or ensuring that you're part of strong support networks and communities. And these could be big business communities, they could be professional learning groups, or where you are hearing other people's stories, you're learning from them. And then again, it would always be the term adaptability. So adaptability is one of the, again, every year things always change, but adaptability has now been quoted as one of the top five skill sets in the workforce. And now you now have tests like the adaptability quotient test, the AQ, that people are doing in organizations at a leadership level, to be able to test how these people would, would respond, or to be able to handle situations when they come. So we have establishing, being part of, rather, ensuring that you're part of very strong support networks, adaptability. I'm trying to see strategies also for, as an organization, is under that support networks is about building strong relationships. They're related at the same time. At the same time, there's slight, yeah,
collaboration.
yes,
But sometimes
collaboration
you
and
may get
partnership.
into a sticky end that you
Yes,
need to collaborate with
yes,
others
ma'am.
to get out of.
Yes. And collaboration is really, really a skill. We throw it around a lot, but it's huge. There's some things that we are doing. I'm not on ground, but nobody actually knows where I am, because everything is going on. We're collaborating with other people who have those, so things are,
Exactly.
so nothing is at a standstill. We're not saying,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, or I had the leader or whatever is not around. And then I think, also one of the strategies is that being able to improvise, comes under a strategy. Yeah. So this is what I need, this, or this.
Innovation.
Yes, that innovation comes into it. So, improvisation comes under that innovation. But I wanted to use the word improvise so that it's very easy to just think of that something. I don't
Okay.
have this, but I can use that. This is what it is. So, an innovation is always the larger picture for most people. So, thinking differently from yourself, thinking differently from the way you would normally think. That's where it
And
comes.
having a plan B to every situation,
Having a plan B, yes, having a
fallback
plan
a fallback situation.
fallback situation, having a plan B for the plan B, and having different scenarios there again. So everything put together, and I know that there are many more. I think the aspect of even communication, being able to articulate exactly what is going on and being able to communicate it, to your team,
Team.
um, and to your stakeholders is very important. Yes, all very important. So,
Good. That's very good. Now, as we know, challenges are part of life,
yes, sir.
and either you call it challenges or obstacles, they are one and the same. So, what would you say are common challenges to individuals when trying to build resilience and mental toughness?
I would say maybe trying to do it on their own. Sometimes people just feel, or they're looking at the wrong sources. They're looking somewhere, they're just looking everywhere, or trying to do everything at the same time. Also, not giving it enough time to mellow, to grow, to thrive in them. So I think many times people just feel, okay, they said we should build
Would
up
that
mental.
fall under lack of planning, lack
Yeah,
of adequate planning?
lack of adequate planning. So it's just like, okay, now you have said this. Now people are watching this. Like, let me come and tell my staff tomorrow at a staff meeting. We have to build mental toughness. We have to, and they start that, and then there's no plan. There's no, they're looking at the wrong sources. Let's just watch some YouTube. Let's just do anything and all that. So having an actual plan would go a long way. That would actually that's even the foundation of everything. Having a plan, looking at the right sources, deciding who you're going to collaborate with. Because sometimes, as I said, we go about it the wrong way, or we give up again too easily. We're like, you see this thing happen, and you guys didn't practice mental toughness, and then we lose that. So if you don't have a support system, and it could be in terms of coaches or consultants, if you don't have a support, people that you can also go back to and go like, I don't know what to do. So again, starts with the leadership, being able to put all these things in place. Yes, and even you as an individual to be determined that this is who you want to be. Set your intentions about that. Yes. So
Okay, thank you. So, how do businesses now overcome these challenges to create a resilient workforce?
I think businesses and organizations, for business organizations, they would, on the go learning, as you call it, like in instructional design or learning and development, that on the go learning where there are real life case studies. So we don't always have to wait till when there's a training. We have our staff training, or we have retreats. You have
They can
your,
simulate.
you
They
can
can
simulate
simulate a
things. Yeah.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah. So within the organization, you can look out for current trends, case studies, so that for example, your staff meeting shouldn't be only about this person said this and whatever it is. they can be very functional. We can talk about something that happened in the news. How do we apply this to our own organizations? Something that happened within your own organization or your industry. You can derive lessons from there. So I think being able to derive live, real, applicable lessons, relatable lessons is going to be one of the top strategies that organizations can use, like on the go. You're using that now, and then again, partner with the right people. If you're bringing in consultants, you're bringing in coaches, not just for the sake of bringing them in, but you have a strategic goal of what you want to achieve. Okay, I want someone to be there to coach. And many organizations are bringing in leadership coaches into the organizations to work with their teams, to observe them, at work, be able to give them those, have those conversations and guidance and accountability right on the job. So there's, yes, a lot of things that you can do. So if you're bringing in experts, don't just bring them in. Even for us, when people call me now and say, oh, come and train my staff, they're just totally useless, I don't know what they're doing. We don't do that anymore. We don't just jump in and go and do a training. We want to do a needs analysis, find out what's going on. And then we now realize, oh, it might not be training. They might need on the job support, coaching, and those kind of things. So those strategies are, I feel, on the go, real time kind of support and observations, guidance, accountability, coaching are very effective. They're proven to be very effective to build these the skills of resilience and mental toughness.
That's good. So we need a lot of training and development,
Yes.
and this aspect of case studies, I think that resonates very well with me,
Yes.
because you do not have to wait until situation happens to you. You can learn from other people's setback for you to
Yes.
avoid the same pitfall, and then, using your own track record, you can use it to simulate some eventualities that you rather not happen, so that you
Yes.
can think ahead of what to do if it happens. I think this is very, very important
Yes, ma'am.
for us to do. Yes, we need to train our workforce,
Stop.
but it's
Yeah.
not just training like, okay, some people send their employees for leadership training or anything. It has to be something that can align with your line of business, something that will be useful and impactful to your
Yes.
line of business. So you
Yes.
must be able to define also the type of training that you send your workforce on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so with training, understanding, overcoming challenges, we've done all this.
Yes, ma'am.
How do we measure or evaluate all our efforts? That is, to know that all the effort we are putting through making our workforce to understand, to training, to development, and ability strategies to face challenges. How do we measure the success of all these efforts to make sure that our workforce achieve that resilience and mental toughness?
Very good question. Another jam. Another jam question. Another jam question on a Sunday evening. And I think being in measuring, it's important to always start with your baseline. You've done your, for example, you've done your needs analysis. You're looking at your team. You're speaking with them, having those objective conversations. You're documenting what, maybe how they're starting off. I remember, people that we've worked with over the years and how they start off, and we let them know, okay, we're going to be in the next 6 weeks. We're going to be having this conversation with you pertaining to these particular issues. So I think metrics starts with your measurement. It will start with you having at least a baseline of the key components or characteristics. Yes,
Expectations.
expectations. So you have those. Your I don't want to use KPIs, but we can use KPIs. But you have your basic things. This is what we're looking at. This is what's on ground now. This is what we're seeing in terms of our organization. So that as you're observing, when you're having this in the next 6 weeks or the next 12 weeks, you're looking at it again and say, oh, actually, we observed when this situation happened, when an angry customer came in, when the government closed down, said something about closing down this, people responded in this way. And so I believe that having those ways, those simple ways to track it, apart from attaching numbers to them.
Evaluate, yeah.
Yeah, to be able to evaluate them. It's very important to know what the starting point is, so that we're able to track it. Otherwise, we're just going to be like, we did one training the other time, and then we're not even sure whether the training was effective. You're not tracking it. So being able to how to measure is also tracking it from a baseline part to a midpoint to another point, and then you're informing them and letting them know what are the things that you're looking out for, and then you can now attach numbers. They do have some tools. I've seen they said like the AQ kind of tools. They have some simpler ones online where people can fill in the key components that are more important to them, to their organization, and then you can create rubrics also, where this is what we're looking at, this is not what we want to see, and then you can attach numbers to them. So I've seen a lot of things like that in terms of measuring. We use rubrics for us in the organization. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much for sharing that insight. Now, how does all this impact organization culture? Because we are talking of the influence, culture influence, the development of resilience and mental toughness. So, how does organization culture influence the development of resilience and mental toughness?
I think the culture, so the way people do things, and vice versa, how does it affect or how does it impact the mental toughness and grit, and the other way around, how does the grit and mental toughness also impact the culture? And so it's almost like a cycle. It starts with the kind of people that you're bringing into your organization, and the kind of message that it could be based on your core values, it could be based on the kind of messaging and the way people just do things in the organization. And so you want to make sure that the mentors or the people that they're looking up to, or even just the leaders, are really demonstrating this culture that you're speaking about, because a culture is such an intangible, but is one of the strongest things that can make or break an organization. And so I'm remember for us, um, we have quite, we had quite a large, when we're running, we had like four organizations running together at the same time. So we had a large workforce, and all the way down to the security guards and drivers and everyone, we found that we find them saying similar things like, that person doesn't fit into our culture. And someone will be like, what does security man know about culture? What's he talking about? Or would you hear the driver say, Ma, I know you said you wanted a junior staff, a cleaner, but that one doesn't fit into our culture. And I'll be like, what do these people know? But they said, yeah, it's a word that we use a lot. Yes, and they can see the way we do things. They can see the way
Mm.
that there's a very friendly, kind of
Yeah, you
simple.
relate. Mm.
Yes, we relate with that. So it's important to even understand what your culture is in the first place, so that you know how functional it is in terms of mental toughness. So we had a very friendly kind of, which is good to a level. When things really hit, um, when things really hit the business at some stage, because we realize that everyone can't be all soft and very emotional, and so that was not very functional to where we needed to be. We needed to bring in a bit more toughness. We needed to enhance some of the skills from people who had a bit of that personality trait, give them a bit more what do you call it, a bit more customer facing kind of role.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's a lot of adaptation, and then so it's first of all important to even understand what your culture, your organizational culture is, and how functional or toxic it might be, and then make the necessary changes that to be able to get you to that place where you are actually aiming to be, that would help you meet your goals and aspirations. So I think that's quite important.
Thank you. Even the aspects you mentioned that down to security man talking, oh, this person does not fit
Yeah.
into the system.
Yes.
It speaks to one good trait, which is inclusion.
Yes.
Inclusion helps very well in this instance, because then people are made to understand what you stand for, what are your core values in this business,
Yes. Well.
what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, what doesn't work for your organization. And that way, everybody can fit into the to shout any strange bed, so to say,
Yeah.
when when you have a misfit. kind of person inside the organization. That's very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, what would be the role of mental health and well-being? Because we've been talking of toughness,
Yeah.
resilience. So, how does mental health impact resilience and mental toughness in business?
How does, please can you repeat that for me? How
How
does,
does mental
okay,
health,
health, okay.
your
Mental health,
mental
okay.
health,
Okay.
the status of your mental health, how does it impact resilience and mental toughness in business?
Ooh, I think yeah, I mean your total well-being is a huge plays is a huge factor in
Mm,
that. So your mental health for organizations, when we do interviews, for example, or bringing in people, or even just our team, that's one thing we overlook a lot until someone has a breakdown or so. So I think mental health, how does it impact? It impacts it hugely. It's a major factor. If our team are not even self-aware, if they don't even know who they are, they don't even know their triggers, they don't know the things that yes, what can throw them off. You'll be surprised. We've had staff lose it in an organization. I've had someone, we're having a meeting and then she got up and she slapped someone, and we're all like so you see this
this
kind
is
of
happening.
thing. Yeah, so this kind of thing. So I think mental health should not be a cliche in organizations. People just say it and go, all this mental health thing. No, we must be able to constantly have those checks with our teams, have those conversations, make sure that we're conversant, we're aware, we're up to date on what their mental health states may be. Okay, so some having things like mentors or any kind of support system. I know one of the questions you're asking me is looking at strategies for mental health, which we'll talk about in the next question when you ask me that. Yeah, so oh, is that frozen? Okay. Okay, I'm hoping that you come back. Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm hoping that she comes back to the room and then I would continue from there. Um, because as we're saying, how does mental health impact resilience and mental toughness? So if people's mental health status or level is in a non-functional stage, then it would have a negative effect on that mental toughness. Because if you're struggling in any areas, in your well-being, your mental well-being, it's definitely going to have an impact on your work. You're not going to be able to be productive. You're not able to give the results that you need, that the organization needs, and even for you, you're not able to demonstrate your full capacity. So mental health should not be overlooked in our organizations. And I know that one of the questions that we had spoken about while we were preparing for this conversation were what practices can businesses implement to support mental well-being of their employees and enhancing resilience and toughness. And of course, you see some organizations here, um, they say things like, oh, what do you call it? Well, we have mental health days. I see people actually advertise that in their job, when they're trying to do it to employ for roles. They say, oh, some of our benefits, we give you mental health days. Some people have mental health rooms or mindfulness rooms, as they call them, where staff can go in, they can just have a cool down. Many times you just need to close your eyes and have like a mindfulness break, have a meditation break. So people are bringing a lot of mindfulness into the workplace, having, as I said, mental health days, having mental health trainings, and again, case studies or simulations or support. Some organizations have coaches that are attached to them on a retainership where they can have meetings with the staff. The staff are able to share some of the things that they're going through, which they might not be so comfortable sharing with their, yeah, sharing with, just give me a second, I'll just put the chat feature here. Yes. They might not be so comfortable sharing with their HR managers or their bosses, right? And so mental health, I think, is really important. So those are some simple things that we can look at to enhance that resilience and toughness. Team building days, and then just some people having an open door policy also works, where people know that if they have any concerns or issues, there's someone. It might not be like the CEO if the person doesn't have that skill set. It could be someone, someone like, again, HR or your line manager or an actual assigned person whose role is to have conversations with their team. Some large organizations have helplines where you can call, and you can even call anonymously and say, "Oh, I'm having this issue. I need this level of support." So those are some things that we're looking at too. I'm hoping Ms. Comfort is able to come back into the room, and I will. Um, there's some things that we've spoken about also. I'm just going to see if I could find her, if she's able to come back with the network, so we can continue the conversation. If not, I would just come back and touch on some of the topics that we had spoken about before the show. Okay, let me see if I can find her.
I wanted to give up. I'm done with all the things I'm going through. I'm trying to keep my head up. I try to win, but every time I lose. Should be getting better. I try, but I don't know what to do. Hope this ain't forever. I just wanna make a breakthrough, but something inside said never give up. All of these setbacks are major setups. If I keep on fighting, if I keep on trying, if I aim for the sky, one day things will go my way.
Hello, is the guest?
Yes, ma. Okay, I'm here. I just welcome
Can
back.
you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Thank
yes.
you. I guess we are talking of mental health. We should be talking of network health. I really don't know what. I really
I can
don't know what
imagine.
went wrong. This is
Yes.
part of the problem. As beautiful as technology is,
Yes.
we've not been able to get away with the glitches that comes once in a while.
The power,
Anyway,
yes. Power issues. Yes.
so
I was talking, I
so
just tried to continue. I was continuing while you were away, and then I spoke about um, some strategies or tools. I think like the next question.
okay,
I
okay,
think
that's
you
good.
were, yeah. So I just mentioned about practices that businesses can implement to support the mental well-being of their employees. Um, because we're talking about mental health before and resilience, and we said yes, so it has a great impact. And then
Mhm.
I was saying practices. We have organizations that do things like mental health days. I mean, they actually call it like a mental health day. Like you have a day when you can just, cool down. Some larger organizations have mindfulness rooms or mindfulness zones in their organizations where,
Actually, we are having more awareness
yes,
about mental health issues back home
yes,
now than before. You know,
yes.
the way people react when they hear the word mental into the health.
It's so amazing
Everybody
how
shy
we're
away
so
from
happy.
talking about it. But
Yes,
we
we have,
have issues. We have issues. So many things going on around us that could make us cuckoo without even realizing it. Like
yes,
you said, somebody just stood up in a meeting and slapped someone. A lot must have been bottling up within her or
yeah,
him that made her
yes,
to react like that. So we really need to talk about this. And it's
yes,
real. It's something that is real.
very, very,
So
yes,
so definitely it can impact. workforce, resilience,
Yes.
and toughness, it can,
Yeah.
for
Yes.
sure. I think we
Yes.
need to
Yes.
save time not to go on the short break because of the
Okay.
breaking, so that we'll be able to take more. So the
Yes.
next question is how important are adaptation and flexibility in building resilience and mental toughness in business? I
Yes.
think
So
this is a straightforward question.
yes. I mean, they're very vital. Adaptability and flexibility and resilience, they're all cousins, as we call, we call them. They're all related. They're in the same family. And the words are used, interchangeably to an extent, because when we talk about adaptability, talk about resilience, talk about bounce back ability, adaptability, being able to adapt or adjust as needed to changes or disruptions, and then flexibility, not being rigid and fixed, like this is the way things are done, because you can't progress with that kind of mindset. So yeah, so all of them must be things that are play a key role in your organizational culture and or your core values as a business. So yes, so that's very important.
So
Yes, sir.
what role does technology play in developing resilience and mental toughness in business?
I think technology, like even what we're doing now, we're having this conversation. We're both on two different continents. Okay, if we're looking at it at that level, technology enhances communication and collaboration. We can have real time communication where we're having this
And
conversation.
yes,
Yes, we're
and
educating
it helps
others.
us to do research because these days
Yes,
you can just go and Google something and read more about it
exactly,
and get
exactly.
better understanding.
You can get a
So
better understanding of it. Yes, you can get support from experts from across different what do you call it, locations or different demographics. Even being able to gather data, so it helps you to make data driven decisions. Like now, for example, even when I have Zoom calls now, the Zoom, when I'm done, it would send me sometimes an email, and it would tell me about the conversation. It might say, oh, Dr. Comfort spoke for 4 minutes, then you spoke for 3 minutes, and then Dr. Comfort was quiet, and I'm like, why is this one telling me all this? And so sometimes the way it's going now, it gives you a bit more a bit more data, helps you to monitor. So technology is really good. There's so many things we can even automate. Like even again, like what we're doing now, great example, helps us be more efficient. So some things that normally all of us, we have to be doing so many things. Now we can put some less pressure on ourselves, automate them, and have them running while we handle the things that are more important. So we're not even getting overwhelmed. We can focus on the things that matter. So technology does play
yeah.
a key role. Of course, as we said, it helps us with learning and development, research, and those kind of things, and just being able to learn about what's happening in other parts of the world or other cultures gives us inspiration to innovate, to look at more innovative methodologies for
Mhm.
our own organizations. Yes. So
Good, good. But do you know of any specific tools or apps that can aid in this development?
which part of the mental health or
No, no, no. In apps in resilience and mental toughness. Do you know of any specific tools or
tools?
apps
I'm trying to
or
say, I
apps?
think for apps, I would say most of the productivity apps, what they do is that they help you to like compartmentalize to an extent the different aspects of what it is that you do. So yeah, I think most of the productivity apps, like even things like Google Suites itself, the Google Workplace is another level. They've added new things which they're trying to launch. So they have many more aspects that can just um, ease your life and help you to push the things that are those things that can be, as I said, automated or help you to be more efficient so that you can now focus, because many times it's even just access to information or data that would help us with this adaptability. So there are a lot of suites, tools in the Google suite. So I had a meeting with someone 2 weeks ago, but I'm not familiar with their actual names. So I know that the Google for Work, or Google Workspace, I think it's called. They have some new things that they're trying to bring in. They're looking at ways to actually come into the continent of Africa and find better ways that people can pay for these services. So for me, I'm used to just anything that can help me be more efficient. For mental toughness, for me, there are lots of apps, like more of mindfulness apps. For me, mental toughness means that I give myself time to pause in the middle of my day. It could be something as simple as my alarm sending me a reminder just to step back, or to ask myself, how am I feeling? How are things going? How, just reflect on your day halfway into the day. So sometimes it's not even too far as downloading too many things. It's more of using the simple things you have, using your alarms to set timers or reminders to do a reality check of your day, and your notes and things like that. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Emem. You've done wonderfully well. I wish we have more time on the show so that we can go on and on, but you've shared quite great insight into this topic today, and I'm sure our online audience have been better for it. I thank you once again for your time, for willingness to impact. It's part
Thank
of
you.
what we are doing is going to enhance some people's knowledge and even progress, because there are tips that they can apply in their business. That's why we say the program is aimed to uh, develop a business enterprise and personal growth. Thank you for being part of it. And
Thank you
thank you
so
for
much.
your time. I hope when we come knocking next time, you will not regard us as Oliver Twist. You oblige us.
Oh,
Uh,
definitely. It's a privilege to be
Thank you
invited.
very, very
Thank,
much. You are
thank you.
highly appreciated.
Thank you, man. Nice meeting you too. Nice being on
Thank
your
you.
platform.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
Thank Okay. So quickly go to our wrap up section because time is fast spent. First, I would like to appreciate all our regulars that joined us during the course of the show. Dr. Asei from Abuja, I saw Tunde Akala from Lagos, and a few others that maybe I could not catch up the name. I appreciate all of you for joining us. I will do a quick wrap up most of the things we've stressed so that we will know the import of what we are doing. We talk of the definition of it and the importance to business. We have gone through that too. But um, some key components that we need to be mindful of is being of positive mind, that is positive mindset. We should cultivate optimism and a growth mindset that will keep us or propel us to achieve, embracing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats. Adaptability, flexibility, our guests are spoken so much on that. Stress management, because that is part of our well-being. We need to manage stress so that we do not bottle up so much to make us to misbehave in the wrong place. We need to utilize techniques such as mindfulness, meditation, and physical exercise to manage stress. We should also maintain a work-life balance, not just work, 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 so that we don't get burned out. Self-belief and confidence is also important because when you face challenges, you must have belief in yourself that you are going to make it, and that will keep you going. And then we need to encourage ourselves with self-reflection to understand our strengths and areas where we need improvement. Then we need to develop ourselves and then develop support system. Our guest mentioned this and stressed on this, the need for building network of mentors, peers, advisors who can provide guidance and support when things get tough. Encourage open communication and collaboration. These are very important. And setting realistic goal. Don't just go beyond your reach just in the name of setting goal. It must be realistic and achievable. As we always know that for you to set a goal, all the necessary components must be there. And we must learn to celebrate our small wins so that we'll be encouraged and encourage our workforce to do more. Don't wait until everything is grandiose before we celebrate, and encourage our workforce along the way. Yes, failure is part of the journey to success. So we embrace failure for the purpose of learning lessons, and then create a culture where failure is seen as a step towards innovation and growth. Encourage experimentation and taking calculated risks. We talked about this when we said we should stimulate situation and not wait until they happen before we start panicking. We must promote lifelong learning and personal development. We should also encourage feedback and using it constructively to improve performance. Feedback is part of our evaluation process that we talked about. So as we draw our conclusion to draw this discussion to a close, it is clear that building resilience and mental toughness in business is not just an advantage, it is a necessity in today's fast-paced and ever-changing corporate landscape. The ability to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to new challenges, and maintain a positive outlook is what separates successful businesses and individuals from the rest. As we move forward, let us commit to embedding this principle into our daily practices and business. Let us be proactive in developing our resilience and supporting others in their journey. I'd like to especially appreciate you all, our online audience, for sparing time to connect with us today for this enlightening session on building resilience and mental toughness in business. I hope you have all enjoyed today's episode. If so, please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Comfort Eyitayo. Once you have subscribed, please turn on the notification button, like and share our videos. Stay updated with information about upcoming events, solutions, and offers on my Instagram account at Comfort Eyitayo, as well as my Facebook account at Comfort Eyitayo. Till I come your way again, remember, the strength of a business lies not just in its products or services, but in the resilience and determination of its people. Once again, I thank you for making time to join us for this show today. God bless you.